What if the secret to getting rich isn't actually doing more, but doing less? I have built my entire fortune around one habit that breaks every rule that you've ever been taught. I started quitting everything, the projects, the obligations, my bills, plans with friends, the hustle culture that kept me broke and burned out. So if you are grinding 24/7 and you feel like you're getting absolutely nowhere, my friend, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how I took this strategic decision and changed my life, taking me from being homeless to making over $10 million in under 3 years in the short-term rental space. And you can do the same. I want you to picture this. It's 1 a.m. in a dingy office in downtown Houston. I have worked 20 days straight, and it's not ending anytime soon. Newspapers are going out of business, and I'm building sales teams to try to change that. And it's not working out. I was doing everything right, corporate America style, by the book according to the gurus, before the gurus existed, because back in my day, Netflix came in the mail. I was so busy, and I was proud of that. I wore it like a badge of honor. And even though this story begins 15 years ago, you can still see it on this YouTube channel today. Go back 5 or 7 years on this channel, I'm still there. The overworked, scrawny, unhealthy man that had to change everything or he was going to die. I was in my early 30s and I still hadn't learned this lesson yet. I had worked my entire life away. I had wasted everything until 2020. And the worst part, I wasn't even making that much money. Some of you know my homelessness story, and we skipped that. But I built a 7-figure business in the newspaper industry, and it was crashing in 2018. I was no longer making 7 figures a year like I used to. And I had an appetite for lifestyle. I was spending money, way too much money. So between the rock and the hard place of a crashing newspaper industry and an insatiable social appetite, I had nowhere else to go, and I was running out of time. And so there I was, one night, 3 o'clock in the morning, mid-COVID shutdown. I can't sleep. I don't have solutions. I'm trying to run my Airbnb business, my YouTube account, my failing newspaper business. I hadn't seen a gym in 6 years. I looked as old then as I do now, or worse. And as I'm lying, staring at the ceiling, full of dread at 3 o'clock in the morning, I say to myself, I don't want to die. What kind of thing is that for a man to say alone in his apartment, laying in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning? No one to talk to but your own soul. And you say, I don't want to die. That's when I knew something was wrong with my life and something was wrong with my body. And I had to change everything or I was going to die soon. And this lesson, it did not come quick. It took years of searching to figure this out. What I'm sharing with you took over 35 years of my life. And up until the end of that 35-year chapter, you and me probably believed the same thing. The stories that we've been told our whole life. Hustle culture, this, work hard, that. Get in line, don't ask questions, don't complain, be a man. I said yes to the extra hours at work, to the oversized apartment that I barely could afford, to the car payment that I barely could afford, to the Uber Eats and the expensive first dates with girls to prove that you were socially at the top of the ladder and you were worth dating. Validation-seeking culture, yes to this, yes to that. And it broke me, and I bet it's breaking you. And this is where I'm supposed to grandstand and say, I'm so successful, I'm so awesome, follow my sauce, I changed my life, and I did it intentionally, but I didn't do it intentionally. I'm ADHD, I don't have a plan, I do almost everything wrong, I'm full of bad habits, and I got lucky with this one habit because it counterbalanced everything wrong in my life. I did this by mistake, but then you get the data. You get to use this intentionally in a way that I never was able to. I woke up years after the fact realizing that my success, the breadcrumbs of what got me here, was this habit I picked up. And plainly stated, I picked up a huge case of the fuck-its and I ran with it. I realized that I could not work my life away because that's not living. So I started saying no to everything. I stopped dating. I stopped drinking. That was hard. I stopped ordering Uber Eats. I started going to the gym, making it a morning daily routine, something that I didn't have to think about. Until it became wallpaper and it was no longer a decision, that was also hard to adopt. I said no to the weekends out with friends. I shut down my newspaper business. I stopped paying my bills. I went full recluse. My one rule in life moving forward was I was saying no to everything unless it was something that I wanted to do. And for someone with ADHD, this was God mode. Everything that I was interested in, I would push and push and push until I was disinterested. I became hyper efficient at Photoshop and Adobe Premiere editing videos. I got really good at Airbnb pricing strategy. I got really good at working with the people within my company because I would work with them on my terms. Everything suddenly was on my terms. And yeah, my phone bill got shut off. Oh, well. And then I would just dial in and say, hey, here's the payment. Give me my phone back. And I wouldn't pay my rent. I'd get a late notice and then I'd pay it days late because they're like, pay or get out. Eventually, everything in my life that I chose to do was because I wanted to do it. Either because I was curious or passionate, or because I was grateful for the things that I had. I was grateful for my phone. I was grateful for my car. I was grateful for my place. I paid for these things because I did not want to lose them. I didn't pay the bill because I had to. I paid for it because I wanted the thing it was associated with. And that's what changed me forever and can change you forever too. It's a radical notion to stop paying all of your bills, to stop hanging out with people that don't serve you, to stop the work that doesn't serve you, and to only focus on the things that make you excited. And yeah, I was this close to the ground when I pulled the parachute and saved my ass. That's a dangerous notion. And I don't recommend you quit your job, become a hobo, and become homeless, because that's not the solution here. We are trying to use our interest-based nervous system and our survival instincts together to become aerodynamic as we try to get to where we want to be in life. We're trying to rip away all the things that don't belong. And if you are burned out like I was, you're going to stop paying your phone bill and your car bill and your rent. You're going to stop calling these weak friends back that weren't actually ever your friends in the first place. You are going to completely reject everything, and it's going to feel so good. But then the ceiling will come crashing down around you, and you'll have just microseconds to get it together, to let survival kick in and to start fighting for your life. And that is risky. I told you that this was messy. This wasn't a plan. This was desperation. My recipe for success wasn't calculated. It's not fancy. It's not necessarily duplicatable as we have this conversation, but it is primal. And that's the most powerful thing that you have, is your survival instinct. But because of culture and society and obligation, we are denatured. We are not the lethal animal that we used to be. And you need to get that back if you want to be successful. And this is how I got it back. This is how I did it. And what's on the other side of this near collapse has been so beautiful. It's given me every opportunity to address my childhood trauma, to become a better person, to reignite real passion, to do things because I want to do them, because I want to build something, not because I have to, or that I want to feel needed or I need validation. This has been the purest motivation of my life. And that's really the key here, isn't it? To be truly naturally motivated. Survival is a dangerous drug. And now looking back at my childhood, 16 to 22, I don't recognize that kid nearly at all. But even more so, this young man at 27 to 31 years old, living a lie, trying to get by compensating for everything that just felt so wrong, but constantly trying to play someone else's game to solve all of his life problems. Saying no to everything will give you your time back. You'll have better boundaries. You'll have more self-love. You'll have more motivation, more energy, and more discipline. You're actually going to do things because you want a better life, not because you're blinded by what society says that you have to do to live a better life or to be a better person by their definition. You're finally going to see yourself clearly, and I want that for you. So start with something small, maybe. The thing that's itching in the back of your brain that you know that you need to say no to. Whether it's binging on Netflix or weekends out with your friends where they just want to blow money at a bar. Whether it's the lease for that Range Rover that you barely drive because you're too busy trying to afford it. Give it back. Taking these steps away or these steps back doesn't end your life. You're no less of a person. In fact, you're going to feel the release of comfort that comes from knowing that you need to break up with somebody and then you finally do it. And all of that fear and anxiety melts away because the deed is done. These are deeds that you need to get done, is learning to say no. Bruce Lee may have one of the best quotes I've ever heard on this topic. You do not become a master by adding things. You become a master by stripping away the unnecessary. Thank you for your time. This topic is of great importance for me, and it means the world that you let me tell you my story. On this topic, here is a video I think you should watch now. And as always, my friends, I'll see you on the other side.